Hey Laserpreneurs, we just surveyed over 600 laser makers and the results are gonna shock you. Hi, I'm Brandon, the co-founder of Laser Design Club, and I help laser makers just like you make more money with their lasers. So recently we surveyed over 600 laser makers. Actually, we sent it out to our entire email list, which is over currently 6,000 people, and we had over 600 people respond to this, and I was completely shocked by the results. Now, what I discovered was a huge problem in the current laser industry. And while some of the questions that I sent out were easy, like how long have you been laser cutting, some of the questions were a little bit tougher and a little bit harder hitting, like how much did you spend on your laser, or how much money are you making with your laser every single month? And while those questions were tough, what I found out was really shocking. So I'm gonna get straight to the numbers and straight to the problem. And 80% of the people who responded to this survey said that they wanted to make money with their laser. So that is awesome. 80% want to make money with their laser. I'm talking to you, the 80%, because if you're watching this video, you're probably one of the 80% that actually want to make money. The problem was, of those same people who said they want to make money with their laser, only 6% were making $1,000 or more. So that means 94% of people were falling short of their goals. Obviously, there's something wrong. And unfortunately, it gets worse. Now, of those people who responded, 75% have been lasering for 2+ years. What that means is they have the experience, but they're still not making their money. And of those people who responded, 50% had spent over $5,000 on their machine. So not only did they have the experience, they had a machine that could perform for them, and they had the desire to make money, but it just wasn't happening. There's obviously something going on. Now, clearly there's a huge disconnect between their goals and reality. Before I get into my own opinion, I would love to hear what your opinion is on why people are falling short of their goals, although they do have the experience and the machine, but they're just not making money. So comment below what you think the reason is why. All right, now let's get into my opinion. And I don't want to place the sole blame on these sector of people, but I think it is a contributing factor. And who are they? Well, they're the machine companies. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not all at fault, but I think the marketing for these machines is just over the top superior, and it really makes them seem super easy to use. Some of the marketing literally is you can make X, Y, and Z profit with these items, and it just shows, super happy people in a setting like a living room that one of these lasers is in, and that it just fits on a desktop or it just goes on your countertop. And the marketing is really good, especially, and these machine companies are always probably doing pretty well because they're selling a lot of these machines and people are being stuck with them not knowing how to use them. Now, you probably get served, especially here on YouTube, with some of these specific ads of these. You exactly know what I'm talking about these lasers in these great settings with people using them, and it just seems really too good to be true. And I hate to say it, but these ads are definitely scripted, even the ones you see from your favorite other laser makers. I've been handed a script saying, hey, can you say these things in this video and we're gonna give you a machine or we'll pay you to do this. Obviously, if a machine company is making you say specific things that they want to use in an advertisement, they're doing that for a reason. And I thought that was disingenuous. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna say these things for an ad for your company because they're going to spin it in a way that makes me look like obviously I'm trying to promote their product, even if I'm not 100% behind it. Now, don't get me wrong, you can only hate on these machine companies so much for having a decent machine and great marketing. The other big culprit that I see is just the lack of resources. So unfortunately, the laser industry just lacks specific resources when it comes to laser education. Now, don't get me wrong, yes, YouTube is a great spot to start. There's Facebook groups and other communities, but they just fall short on really helping people make money with their lasers. So the laser industry instead is really filled with a lot of file sellers, a lot of, yes, machine companies, a lot of people that are trying to sell laser material. And while that's great, it doesn't necessarily equate to helping people along the way of their laser journey if they want to be successful. So that's why you see a lot of people who buy a ton of SVG files that they never use, or maybe their house is stocked up with a bunch of unused materials that they bought from one of these many material companies. And don't get me wrong, they probably both have great products, but the problem is SVG files alone aren't going to help you sell. And pretty material alone is not going to help you sell. You need to have a proper plan and the strategy in order to get your business going and make it sustainable. So there's obviously a huge disconnect when it comes to proper business training. And you can go into these virtual groups, you can go into Facebook groups, and everyone is going to have their own opinion. But we need to have some kind of unified resource where we could go to actually learn the business of laser making, and unfortunately, no one really does that super well. Now, on the other hand, that's why I'm trying to put out business-specific content, because other laser makers, yes, they do a fantastic job of making new product videos, and you could find a ton of those on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, all over the place. But if you're actually looking to make more money with your laser business, there needs to be more specific resources for people to go to learn. And that's why this entire channel is going to be focused on making more money with your laser. So what needs to be done? Well, you need to really find an education resource and a plan that you could help yourself get started. So if you haven't the clue on where to get started right now, what I'd like you to do is try to identify your ideal niche. That's the first thing, and your ideal customer base. Secondly, we want to look at what products those people are already buying or what products we could potentially sell them. And then the third thing we need to do is we need to have some kind of a strategy to get those products seen by your ideal customers. Now, if you're interested in learning more how to do that, I have a free session that's called the 3 Pillars of Laser Success, where I teach you to do just that. It is completely free, and I'm doing these 3 free live sessions every single day. Now, if you want to register, you can right now, but I'm only doing them for a limited time, and they will help you along the way to try to shorten your learning curve to turn your hobby into a business. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video on the big disconnect that is happening within the laser industry right now. If you have your laser and it's just sitting there either collecting dust or not making more money for you, then we need to fix that problem. So register for that free session or go ahead and watch this next video.